So the last 10 years show a bit of a baby boom when it comes to women in their late 40s. In fact, that is the only age group in the last decade that recorded a rise in births.
Hi guys, welcome back to another React. So today we're going to be discussing childlessness and why that is on the rise, but not for the age group of those between 45 and 50. But before we dive in, if you could please like, subscribe and ring that notification bell.
We're going to turn now to a new report from the U.S. Census Bureau that finds childlessness is on the rise in every age group except women 45 to 50 years old. Rhiannon Alley is here with the details. Good morning, Rhiannon.
Hey, good morning, Rebecca. Yeah, the average age women have children has been creeping up for decades now, but these latest numbers are pretty surprising. The data from the U.S. Census Bureau revealed a disparity when it comes to when women are having children. So the last 10 years show a bit of a baby boom when it comes to women in their late 40s. In fact, that is the only age group in the last decade that recorded a rise in births. The childless rate for women aged 45 to 50 dropped from 16.7% just 11 years ago to 14.9% last year. The information coming out of the recent census and backs up recent research that women are waiting later in life to start their families, and younger women are having fewer babies. The rise in childlessness was especially steep among women in their 20s and early 30s. In 2014, about 75% of women aged 20 to 24 had not had any children. Listen to this. By last year, that number had jumped to 85%. So the big question, why is this happening? Well, experts say cost of living is a huge factor. Everything is more expensive these days. Rent, childcare, and utilities, even food. More millennials and Gen Zers are focusing on their careers, trying to become financially stable, and putting off starting families. And by the way, guys, the average cost of raising a child now to age 18 is about $400,000, and that can vary depending on where you live, and that's not even including college.
And it is climbing. Thank you, Rhiannon.
That's crazy data when you see it like that. My first thought from that, Soph, is the category of women having babies later on in life was 45 to 50 years old, which was really surprising. And my first thought around that is how?
Yes, I agree. I was thinking, does that mean that the egg donation has increased then, as well as, people, because, when you get to that age, your eggs are depleted, definitely the quality and also probably the quantity. Yeah. So I'm guessing if you looked at the stats, the egg donation would have increased alongside that.
Yeah, fertility rates, as that then increased, is the new data being released on that. So that would be interesting to look into. Or as more women freezing their eggs to then have a baby later on in life.
Increasing egg freezing.
Yeah, but that's really interesting, that category. And that's the first thing that came into my head when I saw that.
I think there's more options, isn't there, with IVF clinics, IUI, surrogacy, there's more options for women than there were, women and men, than there were 20, 30 years ago. So maybe people think, oh, I have a backup. Yeah. I will focus on my career now. I'm not going to, start having kids till I'm older, because there are other options now. I imagine that that's a big part of it. Also, like they said, the cost of living is extortionate all around the world. £400,000 to raise a child,
or 400,000 US dollars, was it pounds or dollars? To raise a baby, like
that's one child. If you have two,
crazy.
Look
at childcare fees. We've both had to pay childcare fees, nursery fees. I couldn't do that again now. Like £400,000 US dollars to raise a baby. Who has that? Who has that in the bank?
Things have changed in terms of most families have two working parents in the house now. That affects childcare, lack of flexible working potentially in some countries. That's going to affect how quickly you have children as well, because you need to have the options to raise those children once you have them. So I imagine that that's a big part of things. When I think of like my mum's sort of generation, I'm generalizing here, but usually the one of the partners, the male, usually would go out to work, and then the female would bring up the children and wouldn't work. So that gave more flexibility of having children a bit younger, potentially.
Yeah, you can't do that now. And you used to have the support from grandparents, to be picking up, your children from, like for me, from school. Whereas now, your grandparents are working till later in
they're
life,
retiring
so
later.
You don't have that village of people anymore to be helping with childcare. So your family unit is still working. So that changes that accessibility for the support in the childcare system, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy. And I think, some people don't find that partner until later on in life. Or that right partner to then want to have a child. And I think maybe that then affects those numbers in the rise in births between 45 and 50. And some people just don't want children, do they? I see that more in like some of my friendship groups who haven't got children now, that just don't want children. So going back 20, 30 years ago, I think the average household, was it like 2.4, like the figure per family? Whereas now it's much smaller. I don't know the figure now, but I know it's smaller. So obviously that has an effect, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it's crazy when you look at it. The cost now to raise a baby, raise a family, just raise your household. Do you know what I mean? Like your cost of living, the world that the world how it is now. It's just completely different to how it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I wonder what they've included in that figure for raising children.
It's expensive to raise a baby. You can buy literally every gadget that there is, especially if it's your first. You will go and buy everything. And now I always say to people who I know is having a baby, don't buy everything, just buy the necessities that you need, because you will literally buy every gadget, because it's your first, isn't it? And you do. But half of it you won't need, half of it you probably won't use. All of the clothes that you buy they won't wear. So 400,000 is a lot of money. It probably will cost you a lot more than that to raise a baby. And when they get older, it is a lot more expensive.
And thinking about even, because of the rise in fertility treatments as well, you add that on to that child, how much it costs to actually have the child for a lot of people in the first place. So, that's also to be added on in a lot of cases.
Yeah, if you go into fertility and into surrogacy, however way you've brought your amazing child into this world, it can be a lot more than that. Please let us know your thoughts. Are you under the age of 40? Do you have children? Do you not have children? What are your reasons for that? If you're happy to share with us, please leave your comments below. But as always, please keep your comments kind and respectful. Again, please like, subscribe and ring that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.